Hi there YouTube friends, welcome back to another episode of Auntie A's Kitchen. My name's Amanda and I love sharing with people simple and delicious recipes that you can cook here in South Korea using South Korean ingredients. If you're watching this video outside of Korea, hi there. If you're watching this video inside of Korea, 안녕하세요. Welcome to everybody. Before I start, I have a quick question for you. What is your favorite sandwich? Is it an Isaac toast? Is it a Subway? Is it a homemade sandwich? So leave a comment below and let me know your favorite flavor combinations. I'd be interested. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the club sandwich. This is an absolute classic sandwich. It originated in New York. It's usually served with a side of French fries or coleslaw. Typically it's served with either turkey or chicken, bacon, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, and this is served between 3 layers of toast. It is absolutely delicious, one of my favorite sandwiches, and in fact the other day I shared it with one of my Korean friends for lunch. They loved it and I thought, great, I can now share this with you. Let me show you today how we make a club sandwich as closest to the original as we can get in South Korea. As I mentioned in the introduction, usually the club sandwich is served with some sort of side. Today I choose to make some potato chips. I get on with preparing them first as these will take a while to cook in the oven. If you want to serve a side that's a little bit healthier, then you could always make some healthy broccoli coleslaw. I slice up a potato and then spread these evenly out on a skewer. I really love making this style of potato because the potatoes end up crispy on the outside and soft in the middle. I cover the potatoes with oil and then season with salt and pepper and place these into a preheated oven for about 45 minutes to 1 hour until golden brown. While the potatoes are cooking, we can get on with preparing the other ingredients. I start with the bacon. Typically, I don't like eating crispy bacon, but in the sandwich, I think it works really well so that you have the different textures. Once you've cooked your bacon, place it onto a kitchen towel so that you can drain off any of the fat. I place my chicken into the same pan as the bacon. Number 1, it saves on washing up, and number 2, just the flavors from the bacon will add to the chicken. I add some garlic powder and season with some pepper. I cook my chicken on a very low heat, and once I feel that one side is cooked, I will then turn it over and cook it on the other side. If you don't want to cook your chicken in a pan, you could always put it into the oven. Once I feel the chicken is done, it has a good color on the outside and is juicy and soft on the inside, I put it onto a plate to cool for 10 minutes while I get on with preparing my first sauce. In today's club sandwich, I'm going to use 3 different sauces that will complement each of the sections in our sandwich. If you want to keep it simple and basic, just use mayonnaise. For the first sauce, I make a basic garlic sauce, some mayonnaise, 1 clove of garlic and some lemon juice. I mix this all together and I also add off camera 1 teaspoon of gherkin juice. Using a gherkin is an optional extra. I like both the colour and the taste, and I will serve this with our potato chips next to our club sandwich. I wash and cut up some lettuce. I like to have the option of bigger pieces and some cut up smaller pieces inside of the club sandwich. Today I'm just using some processed ham that I got from Emart. You could use ham that you can get from Costco, or you could cook your own ham. Ideally, a nice strong cheddar would be perfect, but today I choose to use some Edam and I got this from Emart. I recommend when making the club sandwich you use big tomatoes, as these are easier to cut up. Today I use the small ones as this is what I had available in my refrigerator. The chicken has now had time to cool down, so I cut it up ready for the sandwich. It's always important to let the meat rest once you've cooked it so that the juice can be locked into the meat. Once I've cut it up, I place it back onto the plate, ready to make my sandwich. I'm really happy with the chicken and it is lovely and juicy. Interestingly enough, I'd never used scissors to cut up food until I came to Korea. They are now one of my favourite tools to use in the kitchen. You can use any bread that you like, but I particularly like using this rice bread from Paris Spaghetti. It's square and quite thick, and also the crust is very good, and this bread toasts amazingly. A quick 2 tips for you. Number 1, stand your toast upright rather than lying it flat, and this will help it stay crisp. Tip number 2, toast one slice a little longer than the other slices, and this will then be the slice that goes into the center of your club sandwich. All the preparation is done. Now we can get on with making our club sandwich. You start with a piece of toast, and I'm going to then put on some garlic mayo that will be next to the chicken, and those 2 flavors together will be absolutely amazing. Be quite generous with your sauce because our toast is quite thick. We don't want a dry sandwich. Next I put on my chicken. I'm using a breast of chicken per sandwich. Once you've put your chicken on, make sure that you season it again with some pepper. The next layer will be some ham and then some cheese, and there's nothing better than a ham and cheese sandwich, and what goes really well with this is mustard. So on the underside of the next piece of toast I make sure that I have a generous layer of Dijon mustard. So our first layer will be chicken with the garlic sauce, and then ham and cheese and mustard. On the top layer now, I put some mayonnaise, and this is just plain mayonnaise, again making sure that our sandwich isn't too dry from all of the toast. Next we start building our BLT sandwich, bacon, lettuce and tomato. I start off with a layer of iceberg lettuce, which is nice and crunchy, and this is where a lot of people make mistakes. You need to put the lettuce on the toast first. This will act as a barrier and stop the tomatoes from making your middle layer of toast soggy. After I've done the lettuce, I then place my tomatoes, making sure to season them with some pepper and salt. I don't need too much salt because the bacon is salty. Our sandwich is getting high, but it's still manageable. Next, I will add some of that crunchy bacon that we made earlier. Korean bacon is so different from English bacon, but over the years of living in Korea, I've not only grown to like this bacon, but appreciate all the different types of food that Korea has to offer. A BLT always has mayonnaise, so we finish our club sandwich by putting some more mayonnaise on the underside of our toast. The last thing to do for our sandwich is to place some toothpicks into the sandwich, and this will hold everything in place when we cut it. So here we have a delicious and simple to make club sandwich with a side of potato chips and gherkin garnish. The combination of flavours make this club sandwich absolutely delicious, and it really is simple to make. As I always say, now go and have fun making this for your family and friends. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, so until then, have a great week. God bless. Chop och hamnada.